TVs and tell me to turn it to static, I would fucking kill myself. I don't, like, how would I do that? It's just not easy for ghosts. You know, that's what I want to get across, right? And that's suburban ghosts. That's ghosts that live in the suburbs. But metropolitan poltergeist? Nobody talks about how hard it is to haunt in a renter's market. Right? Because think about every haunting movie you've ever seen, and you're like, Linda, why don't you just leave the house? Linda's got a mortgage. She's got a financial commitment to that house. She's got to duke it out with that ghost. She's got to figure it out. But in a renter's market, think about every haunting movie you've ever seen. 2 months into the haunting, the ghost shows up in the mirror. It's like, ah! 2 months later, the ghost writes murder in that same mirror. If I'm subleasing, I'm the fuck out of there. And now that ghost got to start all over? That's not fair for that ghost. That's just not... You know why? Yo, do you know why I was even thinking about this? Was because I was watching Netflix on my laptop in my bed because I'm a poor. And I was watching Netflix on my laptop, and all the lights in my apartment went off, but Netflix kept working, so I just didn't investigate. You know, like, and I don't know how much ghost energy it takes to turn off all the lights in my apartment, but I'm sure it's a lot. I'm sure it's a lot, and the ghost is sitting there in the living room, he's like, oh, I'm gonna haunt the shit out this dude. You're not as interesting as Peaky Blinders. You're just not. And that ghost can't compete with Hulu's and Netflix is. That's just not... Right? You guys don't, we're not talking about this enough. Right? There's some pre-child labor law kid that got sucked into a printing press in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, right? And then he gets sucked in, it's blood everywhere, it's disgusting. And then that ghost child, he just knocks chains off the shelves. Nothing to you and me is childish, but it's fulfilling for him. It gives him life. Or he's dead. It gives him jubilance, right? It gives him jubilance. He just knocks chains off the shelves, and so he just sees all the haunting on people's face, and he's so excited. But then a bunch of hipsters move in. They turn it into 18 units. Now he's got 18 units to haunt. That's not fair to that little ghost boy. He was already a pre-child labor law kid. He thought he got out of that. Now he's got 18 times the haunting. That's not fair for that little ghost boy. How do you even do a quality haunt after 18 of those? At the end, you're just like, boo, you're a cunt. Right? Like, how do you, like, really care about your work? Right? We're not talking about this enough. There's a dead antebellum lady in a New Orleans hotel bathroom. She slips, she falls, she hits her head on the sink, it's blood everywhere, she's dead. And then she haunts that hotel bathroom. And all she does, turns faucets off and on. We know that haunting, classic haunt. And again, nothing to you and me, but it's so fulfilling to see the haunt on people's faces. She turns faucets off and on, she sits there. Then the Marriott buys the place. First thing they do, automated faucets. Now she's been automated out of a job. All she had in this afterlife was turning faucets off and on. Now the Marriott has automated her out of a job. And that is not fair for that dead antebellum lady. Now she just sits there and listens to people take hotel lobby shits. Those are the worst shits you take in a hotel. You snuck away from a significant other, you're a tourist that just couldn't wait. And now this ghost just listens to people take diarrheas for all eternity? That's not fair! We're not talking about this enough. Yo, side note, like one thing we know about ghosts, they can go through walls, but they'll never leave the legal parcel of land that they died on. It's like, you have all eternity, go travel. You know, like, go to Indonesia, right? I would watch that show, like a Ghost Abroad TV show. I would watch that. Some pre-Civil War lady seeing Shanghai, that'd be fun. It'd be hosted by Anthony Bourdain. You know, how fun would that be? He's a ghost, dog. Where have you been the last 10 minutes? Yo, I said that on stage a couple weeks ago, and this girl up front just starts crying. And I was like, what's wrong? She's like, it's Anthony Bourdain's birthday. I was like, he's dead, he doesn't get more birthdays. Right? It's like, fucking give up when you give up, dog. I want to take this joke in a place that I don't know how to get it there, but I want to pitch the audience on building factories on top of graveyards run by ghost energy. And I don't know, right? Because everybody's talking move away from fossil fuels. Wait, that's a lot of energy to move that book off the shelf. Harness that. Put your money where your mouth is, right? That's stupid. That's stupid. I say that like the rest of it wasn't. Are you guys, so when did things like open up here? Like legally, like not like we're all. Remember how like we all had a bubble and we were like, but this one's like my good friend, so they can't get me sick. When I was like, I remember like I was stuck in my apartment for a very long time. New York took way too long to open up, and I was just like, you know what? I need human connection. I needed human connection so bad because I was just sitting in my fucking apartment. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go on the dating app and I'm gonna find somebody to go on a date with, right? And who here uses dating apps?
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Because you got locked down?
No, just
Yo, you can be on a dating app and be okay, but nobody's doing well when they download the app. Right? Because at that point, you have committed to give up on human connection. Right? You're like, only algorithms can figure out who I can fuck. Right? Like, you have to make that commitment. And if you're doing really poorly, you download all the apps. Download all the apps, get all the free swipes you can, move to the next one. I just downloaded Hinge. And Hinge's slogan is designed to be deleted. And after 24 hours, I fucking deleted it. It was horrible. Yo, okay, so I'm like, just the first person you connect with, just ask her to go on a date, go get drinks, you need human connection. And I get it, I ask her, she says yes, and I'm about to go, and the day of, I almost bailed, right? I'm just like, I'm not doing well mentally, and I don't need to bring somebody else in this fucking chaos. And I was trying to be positive. I was like, you know what, she could be like your soulmate, you don't know. Like, go see her, go connect with somebody. And I was trying so hard. I was like, Steven, you're gonna be positive today. And I get there, and we're sitting on she's sitting on the sidewalk eating, right? It's not like a troll, right? Like we did that. Like, we sat on sidewalks and we ate as people. And I see her from afar, and she's wearing a headband with 2 cat ears. I'm 30 feet away from her, and everything in me is like, bail. Bail the fuck out. She's wearing cat ears to a first date, dog. You can't do this. And I see it, and I was like, no, be positive. Be positive, Steven. She could be quirky cat ear lady. She makes muffins for the office, right? Like, you don't know, right? So I was like, just be positive. Go in, be positive. And I sit down, and I was like, hello, how was your day? She's like, it was fine. How was yours? And I was like, my day was good. She says, even though the world around you is crumbling. And I was like, oh no. Like, oh no, I was trying so hard to block all this shit out. I don't want to think about pandemic stuff. And then she just gave me all sorts of other shit to worry about. Right? I was just like, I was trying so hard to be positive. I was like, oh my god, this salsa is so good. She's like, do you even know where these tomatoes came from? Slave labor. And I was like, there's slaves in the tomatoes? I was just thinking about pandemic stuff, now I gotta think about tomato slaves? I had no idea. I love ketchup. And now you ruined ketchup for me. And I'm trying so hard to just be positive. I'm trying. And I was like, oh, but your outfit is beautiful. She says, oh, this? H&M. Fast fashion. It's polluting the oceans. I was like, what the fuck? I was just like, I'm trying so hard. It's polluting, all the fish are dying because of my clothes. And I was like, then why did you wear them? And she says, because my dad's dead. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, the cat ears. And I was like, what about the outfit? She's like, I don't know, I thought it looked nice. And I was just trying I was trying so hard. And so if football had just come back, I didn't watch football for 6 years, but then when the pandemic happened and football happened, it was my only tether